Yarrow here with Home Hero. Today we're going to be talking about the important topic of rates. Today is February 1st, and today Jerome Powell has once again hiked the rate by, well, 25 basis points, which is actually the smallest rate hike we have seen so far, which is 1/4%. We're most likely not going to feel a thing in rates. If we did see some kind of movement, I'd be surprised. But even if we did, it'd probably be a smaller of an increase. I guess we'll have to look and see. But 25 basis points as compared to those 50 and 75 is quite small. Okay, so if we're running around 6.17% right now, right around there, you're probably looking at something still under 6.5. Still something right around between 6 and 6.5. Now, the bigger question is, where do you go to get the best rate? Or, how do you find the best rate? Or, how do you make sure you get the right program for your loan? And those are a couple of the things I wanted to address today. Now, I get that question quite a bit, especially with, do I use an online lender? Do I use a local lender? Do I use someone that's recommended to me? And that's a very important question, because that can end up saving you thousands and thousands of dollars. Literally thousands of dollars, because your interest rate at 6.25 and your interest rate at 6 is a huge difference when you're talking about a $500,000, $600,000 loan, even a $300,000 loan. It makes a huge difference, and you want to keep that money in your pocket, especially in times when inflation is through the roof and we are in a recession and the economy isn't looking so good. However, the economy in real estate, or at least the prices, are looking pretty stable. Today I did a market update on my Instagram, and I talked about where the market is, what the average price here in where I live, because I'm a real estate agent here in Pierce County, Washington. And it's interesting to watch this whole thing unfold, because we were expecting to see rates climb up to the 9s, and we didn't. We saw it climb to 7.5 in November, and then it kind of just fluctuated around the 7%, and then went back down. And we were actually down to like a 5.75 a couple weeks back, and now it climbed back up to 6.17, or around the low 6s. So I don't expect this minimal rate hike to have a huge effect on the market. If anything, it's going to stay like this for a while. The next meeting is scheduled for March 21st. So most likely these next 2 months will be pretty mellow, and there'll be some cool opportunities to still buy, depending on where you're located, depending on your financial situation. So I don't want to tell you it's a great time to buy or a bad time to buy. Remember, that always depends on your circumstance and your job. Are you at a stable job? Can you get laid off and things like that? Or if you're self-employed versus salary, all of that. There's a lot at play. So that being said, where do you find the best rate? Let's have a couple of these notes, a couple of questions. So where do you find the best rates? And if you look that question online, a lot of people will say, or the number one article says, the number new home owner rule is to shop around for your mortgage, right? So yes, shop around for your mortgage. And even if you do that online, a lot of these, algorithms online will take you to an online lender. And so number one takeaway, don't use an online lender. Now, I've had a good experience with the online lender before, but out of the all bad experiences, I've only had one good experience for my clients. And so I would say stay away from the online lenders. They usually pack in fees that are hidden until it's too late, and then you're gonna lose the house that you have in contract because you want to use a different. It's a headache. It's a huge headache, and I've had my clients go through that headache because they didn't listen to some advice. So let me tell you now, don't use an online lender. Use a local lender. Do your shopping, do your rate shopping, but do it locally, on a local level. Those around in your city, those around in the few cities away from you. I work with an amazing lender out in Linwood, and he has an awesome team. NFM Lending does amazing things. I'm not paid or sponsored to say this. It's just my experience with that lending team. I have a few other ones that I work with a lot, and some great local lenders will give you some of the best, if not the best, rates around, okay? So that being said, depending on what area you're in, if you're watching this video from a different city, different state, just shop around locally. That's number one. Number two, read the fine print and the fees. Oftentimes a lender will throw in a first-time home buyer package, and a lot of questions I get from my first-time home buyers is, well, I want to use this program. It's not really a program. The first-time home buyer program is pretty much down payment assistance or closing cost assistance. They pay for your closing cost, which is roughly between 2.5% and 3%, somewhere around there, of the purchase price of the home, and they'll pay for that, but they'll charge you for the entire mortgage pretty much to make up the difference. So if you don't have cash, negotiate it for the seller to pay, especially right now when we are in a market where sellers are paying for all the costs and some. Negotiate it there. Don't get caught into some kind of flyer that you read about a first-time homebuyer program and it actually ends up costing you way more. So if you don't have the money, use the current circumstances that we're in, this market currently that we're in, to have the seller pay for your closing costs. If you do have some money, I'd strongly encourage you to put the down payment, secure yourself, don't overreach yourself, but make sure that you are not being taken advantage of because of some kind of program. Now, one of my other videos on my channel, I talked about the 2-1 buy down. That's also paid by the seller. So it's not really a lender program, just the lender requires the seller to pay for that. It's just paying down your rate for the first 2 years. So yes, take advantage of those. There have been some locally on this in our area, in our county, in our state. We're seeing a lot of sellers pay for closing costs and the 2-1 buy down, which is amazing. We're talking about, I don't know, close from $20,000 to $30,000 of your costs, and sure, you're paying your mortgage, but we're in a time where you can negotiate a lot and still get a home for an amazing value. Not every home, but there are a lot of opportunities, and I think the opportunity window is just going to continue unless we see some kind of switch in our economy, which I guess can always happen. The economy is not looking healthy. It looks like there's some more storms ahead, but if you are in a financial situation where you can buy, we are in some of the best times to negotiate, especially with all the chaos. A lot of people are more willing to base their decisions off of fear on the seller side, and so I would take advantage of that if you were a buyer. So again, read the fine print, read what the program is if it's an actual program, and make sure you don't get taken advantage of by something that comes up like that. And having lender pay for closing costs, again, that could help you in a situation where you need it. So if you need to buy a home and that's your only opportunity and you can't negotiate it down, or say this market changes in the next month or 2 or 3 or 6, and you're watching this video like, but what? No, this doesn't work out for me. Don't lose the ability to be a homeowner because of some lousy closing costs. Honestly, don't base your opinion off of a $10,000. In the great scheme of things, being a homeowner and paying $10,000 more, or losing $10,000 if you look at it that way, is not worth being the renter for forever. So it's a great time in the marketplace to still get a great deal, and pay less for what it's worth. And I'm actually looking at a property right now up north for a couple of investor guys, and we looked at the property and they were looking to see what the house is worth and if it's worth their time. And it's a double lot that's already parceled out, and they could literally just buy the property, flip it, or sell it to another investor, make some pretty decent income on that property, and keep that land. And they can either sell that land or build on it. And so there's a lot of opportunities in this market, and I think it just takes a knowledgeable agent who's out on your behalf, really working their butt off to really look for these deals, or look at the glass half full instead of empty and look for opportunities. So I'm going to continue giving you guys updates on things. Today was a big day with that Fed meeting, plus today is February 1st, so we have all the data from the previous month. And so right now we're not looking like it's going to get crazy. I would expect these next 2 months to be pretty stable or stagnant, or just kind of the same. So nothing exciting unless something crazy happens out of the blue, but otherwise That's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys. I wanted to talk about rates, and if you had questions, put them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, ring that bell. You know, I want to make sure you guys are seeing videos that come out and help the algorithm pick up my videos. I'm trying to be real with you guys, not just create some kind of scary title for you to click on. So hopefully these videos are helping you as you are either in the buying process, selling process, investing process, and or just interested and are a buyer or seller down the road. Let me know if I can help. I'm here in the Washington State, servicing all of Washington State. So if you are looking to buy or sell, invest, and or get your feet wet in the game, let me know. And until tomorrow, bye guys.